Hi, Kat. Good to see you
Good
again.
to see you. Yeah.
Yeah,
So today we're doing something a bit different, right?
we are. We're so excited about the equinox that's coming up on March 20th that we decided we want to do a three-card pull on the equinox and then read the energy that way and basically to see, what to expect. What kind of new energy are we going to feel coming in? And by the way, that energy is already coming in, but so we're going to feel it stronger and stronger as we move to it. So that's what we're doing today.
Let's do it.
Stick around.
All right. Three cards. Here we go. We got one, two,
Mm-hmm.
and three.
Yay.
Okay, so the order they came up, ooh, interesting.
Oh,
We got
wow.
the
I love
five
that.
of the five of cups, strength,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
and son of swords.
For some reason, before you picked up the last one, I knew they were all going to be animals. Don't ask me how.
Well, this deck is only animals.
No, but you have a lot of cards that are trees and,
Oh, you're right.
you
Okay.
know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
I
yeah,
knew
yeah.
they were all going to
Okay.
be animals.
That's so cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so that's a really cool feeling.
Yeah. Look at that.
So what do you it's interesting. You had a really good reaction when we first saw this card.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the reason I feel it's like it feels like such a peaceful card to me. It feels like
I love that.
you're leaning in, you're leaning forward, but it's like you're also bowing towards something new. Like you're trusting the new. It's like a card of acceptance to me. It's a card of accepting whatever new is coming in.
Well, you know what? I want to thank you because that this card has been like one of the the card that I fear getting all the time in my deck. It was like a card that kind of was stalking me for a while when I first started the tarot,
Yeah.
and it's not necessarily a positive card. So I love your take on it. And I think
Mm.
it's also so cool because as you were saying, the equinox is something new, and maybe it's also a way of like transforming maybe some of the things that I used to think as negative into something positive. So thank
Sure.
you.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, no problem. And I
Yeah,
also
because
feel like if
yeah.
you kind of squint at this card, it's like the horse is bringing the beauty of the light into the darkness. It's
Hmm.
almost as if it's transforming it into a body, and then it's holding that beautiful white light in the darkness as well. I love this card.
Thank you so much. No, but honestly, I really think you're going to be transforming the way I see this card because I think it's so awesome to see it as like, and start seeing it in a positive light. And I think it
Mhm.
really goes back to a lot of what we're saying in life, which is, the cup is half full or half empty. It really is half.
Yeah.
How do you see? How can
Mm-hmm.
you see it? And it's so cool to me that your
Mm-hmm.
first reaction when you saw this card was like, wow, how cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's so awesome. And that just reminds me how the importance of I believe my truth, and my truth is true for me, but
Yeah.
it is not the truth. And so
Mm.
I think that's also maybe the lesson here in this equinox is to also maybe start realizing that maybe some of the stories that we've told ourselves, like my story of that's I always see this as the sad horse
Oh.
because the five of cups is all often about like not seeing what's going on up here and
Mm-hmm.
looking in the darkness, but I
Mm-hmm.
love your interpretation of it, which could be, as I said, is the cup half empty or half full. It really depends
Mm-hmm.
on how you see it, and I
Yeah.
love the fact that you can see this card in a totally different light.
Yeah.
So
And that your whole explanation of this, of where you've been and how you now can transform this vision, it's like a beautiful metaphor for how it's going to be in this Aries equinox. Where, as you said yourself, some of the things that we've told ourselves, some of the stories that we've had, some of the belief system that basically creates our whole reality because we manifest that reality can change just from someone
yeah,
saying, "Hey, how about looking at this differently?" Or you
yeah.
yourself saying, "Hey, I can look at this differently." So I think
Yeah.
this is our first clue. Things that we've been so strongly about that it's this way. I know
Yeah.
this is this way. We're
Yeah.
going to completely flip over and be like, wait a minute. What if it's this way instead?
And I think one of the clues too is that it's not just with you. It took you, Marie, to
Mhm.
show me that you saw it completely differently. It's
Mm,
also, I think, about reaching out and remembering to learn from others, to
right.
remember to open up our views of what we see and what we think and what we are sure is true, and
Yeah.
to remember to be open to see
Mm,
other people's
mm.
interpretations.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing so openly about that.
Well, thank you for also
Mm,
helping me because
mm.
I honestly, I love that. It's as
Yeah.
a new take on that card.
Yeah.
So I think
Strange.
this is interesting too for the equinoxes. Strength is about using soft power and
Hmm.
gentle persuasion and not just like force. And I
Mm.
don't, when we say force, I don't even think it's as um using like physical force. I think it's actually even in our maybe even in a discussion. Like for example, this discussion right here, you didn't say, "I know it's positive, Catherine. You have to see it my way." You just mentioned it in a
Yes.
very soft and gentle way,
Yeah.
and as a result, like that's helping me. Like if you had said, "No, Catherine, you're wrong," I think I might
Hmm.
have been like, "Oh, well,
Hmm.
like, well, no, I'm right, you know? Whereas like
Hmm.
using gentle strength and
Hmm.
more gentle persuasion is actually a
Hmm.
better way of actually helping our ideas get out there.
Right. Moving away from polarity and into unity, learning and teaching from each other in both in equal amounts, right? What I
Mm-hmm.
also love about this card is we talked about it being the Aries equinox, which is fire, lots and lots of fire, right?
Mm,
And
mm,
Leo is also a fire sign, and you can clearly see the sun there. It's like right behind shining. It's a very kind of it's the next movement of Aries is very much the I am, at the beginning of the zodiac, and Leo starts to take it into the next of being like beaming that I amness outwards. So I
mm,
feel like this card is telling us that the Aries is just the beginning, the equinox. Then we're gonna start to move into becoming this very patient, because I'm reading this as being very patient, very eternal, very kind of beaming of our own inner light into other people, because Leo's very much about also that connection with the person next to you, right? So,
mm.
and offering something, he is offering a rose.
That's super interesting too. Maybe also to remember that a lot of the things, like I think we think lions are scary, right? And
Mm,
like we would be scared to maybe realize a little bit like what we were saying here, like the stories we've always been telling, maybe even the people that we've always thought are bad or, and
yeah,
that realizing that maybe they're not that scary and
right.
maybe they're actually completely different than what we expected. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm also kind of from both of these cards, seeing that it's like almost having things like almost having like ways of seeing be turned completely upside down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like opposites, like coming out like, oh, what, a lion's bringing me a rose,
Hmm.
Like,
Exactly. And you're reminded of the story from the Bible too, where it talks about in the New Age, lions are going to sleep next to sheep, so that aggression, that kind of, victimizer starts to disappear, and we're
mm,
all just one of the same, and we can all, there's no fear left. It's like we're all one family now.
wow, wow, beautiful.
Mm.
And to end, we have the Son of Swords, that which we've had before
Hmm.
in some of our readings.
Yeah.
And what I'm getting here is, in a way, I think it's very linked to all of this because swords have to do with our mind and our thoughts and our thought patterns and our beliefs and our truths. And and I think and sons are the knights, and they're very kind of like they're still at the beginning of their journey. And so I think it's just about remembering that like as we learn to harness the power of our mind and to learn this thing, just to be open, not to think that
Hmm.
we, again, in a way, not to think that we own any truth, that we're
Hmm.
still learning and that we still have so much to learn. And so as a result, it's about being open and and also remembering that we can make mistakes. I think whenever I see this card, I see this. bird, like really charging ahead, like as
Mm,
if it can like find the truth or find, but maybe that's in a way we never do find the truth. And that's because there is no absolute truth. We
right.
have personal truths. Everybody has a truth that's kind of all true and not true at the same time. Anyway, so
Mm.
yeah,
And also always being okay with evolving and learning. So
yeah,
things might get turned upside down on their head on the equinox, and you being like, "Whoa, I didn't realize, the world can be
yeah,
different." But then it might start to stabilize itself and be like, "Oh, it could be all of these other things too. It's not black and white, but it's
yeah,
everything at the same time." And I also wanted to mention that, like, we pulled the cards, and it's one horse, it's looking one way. Then it's a lion who's looking straight at us. And then there's the owl who's looking in the other direction. To me,
yeah.
this talks very much about time also. So time is going to feel very differently and start to change. It's like we're going to be in the now and in the future and in the past at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. That's super interesting. And it's interesting too that both of them are looking at the owl at the lion.
Yeah.
They're both like kind of like coming in and looking at the
Hmm.
lion that, as
Yeah.
you said, is looking straight ahead at
Yeah.
the eternal present.
Exactly. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like everything gets layered, and now we for sure know that like this point is happening at the same time as that point, past, present,
Yeah.
future, right? I think we're going to come much more into awareness. Right now, it might be like a cerebral concept to us where we're like, yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of understand how it could be, but I feel like it's going to come fully into our experience. Like we're going to
Mhm.
fully experience that to be the way that things are.
Well, it's interesting that you just mentioned that too, because the cups have to do often with like our feelings, our emotions, our creativity, our more intuition, let's say. And
Mm-hmm.
swords definitely have to do with our thoughts, our brains, our
Oh, yeah.
logic, our rational. And so it's interesting that it's almost like both kind of get squished, not squished, but they both come together
Yeah.
as a major arcana, which
Yeah.
major arcana are suitless and they don't have like
Hmm.
one thing, they're all of them all together.
Hmm.
So it's like it's
Yeah.
more, yeah, it's like a mix of using all of them.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Beautiful. And then coming back into our own strength,
yeah.
into our own eternity, into our being peaceful, into being open, into our
Yeah.
hearts, because Leo is very much about the heart too, being very much in your heart.
Mm.
So
And also
there's so
like
many
radiating
beautiful
it out.
messages here. I can't even summarize them. It's like we've talked about so many beautiful things.
Yeah, I agree. That's just wonderful.
Yeah.
Actually, sorry, I think it goes this way.
Yeah.
Um, ah, it's hard
It's
to,
all
'cause-
pointing us back to our hearts, the heart of the Leo, the leader who is not, the traditional leadership of like, I decide over you. It's more of a leadership of like, I follow this person because they're coming from the heart.
yeah. And again, it's exactly that. It's the soft power, the
Hmm.
power of not brute force. This lion could use the brute force, but
Hmm.
the power is actually what it's so much more powerful to use softness, compassion, love, than to force anybody to do anything. It won't stay. If
Yeah.
you want it to be permanent, it has to be coming from their own person.
Hmm. Beautiful. I love this reading.
Super
I feel like
powerful.
we have so much to look forward to here in the coming months.
It's
Mm.
very exciting, and very optimistic.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much,
Cool.
Marie,
Thank you. And
and
let us
happy
know.
equinox to everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know how you're feeling and let us know how this reading makes you feel. Maybe you're seeing other things than we're seeing also. So it'd be interesting to hear that.
Please leave us. It's always, I
Mhm.
mean, the interesting thing is tarot is a conversation, and what you see is just as important as what Marie and I see. So,
Mm-hmm.
please let us know if you've seen things that we haven't seen.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Have a
All
great
right.
evening, everyone.